do this picture here, and it's kind of hard to see, but maybe we can just scan it and get that out of it. Got my grandma, grandpa, and my dad. I'm not sure who this is here, but you see the trucks behind it. The trucks sort of date the time.
Hello, my name is Kathy Davis. This is my husband, Lloyd Davis.
I'm Alan Davis. I'm president of Marvin's Garage Doors. This is my wife, Chandra.
My mom and dad in 1969 had a desire to own their own business. When we first moved back to Yadkin County, we rented a house, and Dad and Mom both left their job in Winston. Dad said, well, until I get the business going, we're going to raise tobacco. And of course, my sister and I had never really been involved in raising tobacco. We didn't know what we were in for.
I was blessed enough, growing up as a child, to grow up here and even to the point of getting off the school bus and enjoying afternoons with my grandpa and Marvin, where the company's named after. And my grandma, I called her Nana, but Mary Brown was her name, and enjoyed being able to do that as a child. And those fond memories that I think back and I think was important in my life.
At least 4 days a week when Dad first went in business, we packed our lunch and got our water jug and we went. I mean, we wasn't always hanging garage doors. We done whatever at that point, because Dad was just starting. We did whatever Dad could find to do to make a living as he was trying to start really building the business up. And less than a year later, he had bought this, and Dad and Mom and I actually built our first warehouse. It was, like I said, about a 10 by 12, I think.
Growing up here, working, my grandpa, he'd give me a weed eater or something to do every day. He wouldn't just get off and play. We got off, and looking back now, I respect that, and I'm thankful for that, my heritage and all. And then same thing with my mom and dad. They had the same work ethic, and you wasn't going to sit around. You was going to work, and you had a chore list when you got up in the mornings. And me and my brother Kenny, his name was Kenny, and my name is Alan, so we had an A and K list every Saturday morning you had to do before you got to go have some fun. But it wasn't fun at that time, but looking back, I felt like Opie whenever his friend was getting 25 cents when only he got nickel for doing his chores at that time. But looking back, you appreciate having that work ethic instilled in you.
After I graduated, met Lloyd. In fact, the first night that I dated him, December the 4th of 1971, Dad actually completed our #1 warehouse right here. The 2 doors on this end, he actually was hanging those doors the first night that Lloyd and I went out.
I'm thankful for my mom and dad's guidance in the Lord, and taking us to church as a kid and getting saved as a young person in the church we attend now, and thankful for that. My motto is, and not only at church and the way as a deacon in the church and working in the church and things, is you honor God, He'll always honor you. And I try to instill that back over into my work and running a business, but not only that, in my family. You honor God, He'll honor you. And sometimes you might not understand why you go through things in life, and you might not understand situations you're going through, but in the end, when you look back, you say, now I understand why God allowed me to go through that situation. And whether my grandparents having cancer, my mom having cancer, or my son was in a bad car wreck with a ATV thing a few years ago, looking back now, God honors that, and you don't question, and I'm thankful for my heritage and my godly heritage and what the Lord's done in my life. But I'm thankful, that as my family we can serve God, and not only in our church, but our community, but also serve God, in our business, and try to, not only tell about it, but live it in front of them, and all. My grandpa, he enjoyed challenging us as kids when they was playing ball and stuff, and he would give the team, not the kids, the team, $10 for every game they won. Well, that year they'd done really well and they won a bunch of games that year. At the end of the year, he took them all to Tweetsie, and that was a big moment. It was just a neat moment, and I remember that, my grandpa doing that.
Lloyd and I got married in 1972. And of course, Uncle Sam wanted him more than, I guess, the rest of us did, because he had to go to see Uncle Sam. And when he got out of basic training, he come in and started with us at Marvin's.
I went to the U.S. Army at Fort Knox, Kentucky in 1972. And when I got back, I started to work for Marvin's Garage Doors, and I worked for them, I guess, the rest of my time till I retired, which our son has took it over and done a lot better job than we did with it. But Lord has blessed us over the years. This is the third generation. My grandson, he's right in there. My granddaughter, she's right in there now, and daughter-in-law. So it's been a good venture over the years, and God has blessed us over the years.
Something that's totally different from this office to the new facility we built. And we moved in 2019 in February. We moved in our new facility. Before, we used to unload our doors at a dock that's right beside where we're talking at here. That we used to, years ago, we used to carry every piece into the warehouse by hand. It would take three-fourths of a day to unload a truck. Then we was able to maneuver over to unloading with carts and rolling them off. Now at our new facility, we have docks there that we're able to literally unload trucks to get them off the truck, at least in maybe 30 minutes of time. There, it's really made us be more efficient as a company. Larger warehouse where we can order volumes of material, try to get discounted prices for our customers, stocking more inventory, be more efficient loading and unloading trucks. Here, we can only back up and load 3, maybe 4 trucks at a time. Or our new facility, we can load anywhere from 10 to 12 plus trucks at a time. Just really opened our doors as far as trying to be more efficient as a company, getting our guys out on the job quicker in the mornings. It's been really successful. Here, we had to load in the snow, the rain. I got pictures of our guys, snow on the ground, that's trying to load the trucks up. Well, where now we got a place we can pull inside and load the trucks. So I think the employees just really appreciated having that new facility and all that aspect of it.
I went to work for her dad, and her dad was like most of the employers. He was hard to work for. He expected more than 100% out of you. And we tried to do that. That's what grew our business over the years, I think, even now, is trying to do a good job and please people and look after them after the job is done, not just when you're doing it, but after a few years after it. But look after these people. And over the years, we've met some very, very nice people. Not all, but most of them. Most people treat you as you treat them. So it's been good over the years. But we've had our ups and downs, but there's been a lot of ups. And like I say, God has blessed us over the years, and still going strong.
We've definitely met many great customers over the years. Some of them became great friends and things like that. But I've met customers we've done jobs for. As recent as a few years ago, we did a job for a customer that lived in King, North Carolina, and we did a project for him. And next thing I know, my mom and dad is traveling. He moved out to Wyoming, and my mom and dad called me one day and they said they were traveling through Wyoming. And so I looked this guy's number up and I called him, and it was just like I talked to him yesterday, and it had been 15 years. But my mom and dad ended up going to his house and spending the few days with him, and so you meet all kinds of customers that's just really unique, and we're so thankful for our customers. You know, if it weren't for our customers supporting us, but we always try to treat them the way that we want to be treated, try to look after them when they need something, we're there, and you know, I think because it's more of a family style business, customers feel like they're appreciated more than just being a number and somebody out there. And so over the years, we've been very, very blessed with the customers we've had, and even in slow times, Lord's really opened doors up and sent us work. And back a few years ago when the recession hit, we were very blessed to not have to even lay off another employee through the things we've been faced with. 2020 has been a challenging year, so I think 50 years is something we're going to all remember this year. But Lord's blessed and sent jobs out of places that we never visioned, and so looking back now, I can see the hand of God just, you know, working things out there that not only for us but our employees, and we're so thankful for that.
When I first started working here, we would get loads of doors in, and basically then about all doors were wood. We'd get about a half a truckload of unprimed doors. They were just natural wood, and we'd get about a half a load that were primed white. They're ready to paint. And then as time progressed, the steel come along, and then they come along with fiberglass, which didn't go over as big as they thought it would, but steel has stayed on the market, and it's overtook the wood mostly now, and Alan can tell you a whole lot more about that. But they're going back some on the fancy house, the Canyon Ridge, the real fancy doors in the wood laid doors. But like I say, when I first started, it was just basically wood doors, and we didn't have that many to choose from, which now there's multiple varieties to choose from. The colors, you can get about any color you want now. It's where back then you had to paint about everything you had, or you stain them. And it's changed like everything has changed over the years, and it's got a lot better.
I do remember from the first few years after Lloyd got out of basic training and come in, it was Dad, Lloyd, and another guy that was the installers. And it was not unusual at all for Lloyd to go out and hang 10 doors a day. That's a lot of doors. But that was a lot of hours too.
And that's several years ago.
Yeah. He was more of a spring chicken then. When our boys got big enough to go, when it was jobs they could go on as 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
I drug him out.
Yep. We put them in the truck, and Dad took them too.
One thing that I guess an impressible moment in my life that I guess at that moment, looking back, I realized the impact it made. Me and my dad stopped at East Bend Builder Supply, Bobby Neal Matthews, and Mike Matthews, who lives currently right up the road here, a neighbor of the new office. As a kid, I was in there in the Builder Supply, and I always saw my dad go back there at the bolt and nail bin and get a bag and pick up some nails and put them in the bag and go up there to the front, and they'd write it down and all, and he'd go out the door. Well, that day I got me some nails and put it in a bag. When we got out the truck, heading down the road, they asked me, where'd you get those? And I said, back there in that nail bin back there, I put some nails in there. And he turned around right there, didn't say what he was doing. He went back and he made me go in there and take him nails back and apologize to Bobby Neal. And I'll never forget what that instilled in my mind of, you know, doing right and wrong. And I know it may seem little, but it was major in my life, and still as a young person.
I try not to get in their way too much anymore. Yeah, I try to stay out of the way. If I can help them, I will, but I'm not going to get in the way, because he's doing a better job than I ever did with it anyhow. So
I call him the gopher of the company.
So I got time to go. If somebody needs something, you know, in church, whatever, I can go help them. Or I still do a little. Raise a garden. I raise some tomatoes.
I think it's very important. My guys know that I'm not afraid to put on a work shirt and my clothes and hard hat and go out there on the job. We just recently done a project. Matter of fact, I just called my dad in to come help us just look at logistics and help guide traffic, because we was having to work out of the highway to hang this really large door that we was installing. And you know, and I enjoy that. Matter of fact, some days I enjoy getting out there with my guys and working and sweating and doing those things more so than I am sitting in the office. And I think I got my guys respect that, that I'm willing to get out there and do things, not just do things I tell them to do, get out there and I get out there and do it with them. I'm not able to do that every day no more like I used to. We have around 27 employees now as a company, and so, you know, it takes a lot to look after that. And I'm thankful a few years ago, my wife Chandra, she taught school for 20 years, and so she saw the need there, and so she came on board with us and helped with non-administrative things, the employee things, HR things, insurance, and she's been a real asset and blessing to be able to help us on that side of things.
He's got most of it down. He's got most of it down. A lot of the new electronics I hadn't stayed up on. So.
Yeah, Lloyd pretty.
I still know how to put a door up. But.
Yeah. But he pretty much retired in 2010, outside of being the gopher.
And it's been nice. I'd recommend it to anybody. Of course, I enjoy working. I've always enjoyed working. I've never had a job that I didn't like to do. I mean, I've always enjoyed working. Even when it was priming tobacco back years ago.
I can't say much for that tobacco though.
Yeah.
Well, it's very different than teaching school, but I've enjoyed it as something different. Well, I get to see all the different offices. I guess that's one thing because I'm kind of the floater, so if somebody's out, then I'll cover the Winston office or the Wilkes office, so I get to see all three offices. So it's not the same thing every day. There's always something different, and I'm more of the paperwork person, so I'd prefer to just look after those things more than selling doors. So it's been different, but it's been something new, and I enjoy it.
Well, Mom did basically 100% of the paperwork until I come in full time in 1973. Yeah, 1973. And then I helped her do the paperwork along with running the front desk and scheduling work and helping Dad do quotes and so forth. But Mom did, that was pretty much her role. And she was pretty doggone particular of how her paperwork had to be done. You didn't have no ideas of your own. Not to say that they were wrong, but you know, as you learn in life, you sometimes can learn a simpler way to get the same thing done. But, and when we first started, now this was the most amazing thing with me with Mom. When we first started, we didn't have a calculator. It was eraser and pencils. And Mom would add it up herself, and 99% of the time, whatever she was adding, whether it was a spreadsheet or an invoice or whatever, it was right. No, I give her a lot of credit. I couldn't do that.
But the prices then, like a 9x7 wood garage door, we installed them. I think it was $59. That was tax, labor, and door installation and all. And so things have changed. So it'd be hard to do that now without a calculator and computers on it. I think my labor was $10, and I furnished the truck, the angle, the nails, bolts, screws, and everything. And I got $10 a door out, and then it got up to 12, all the way up to $12 then. Oh, I could make $100 a day. That was good money back then. I mean, it really was. I mean, I had to do a lot of work, but it still was. And at that time, we had to bore all the holes in the doors, drive the bolts through, and well, they got screws now. I had to drag cords. You didn't have a cordless tools. Yeah, had to plug up and they tried to build 5 houses with one temporary power pole, so we had to take 200 or 300 feet of cord every job. But it's been good. His life has been good. I can't complain.
And the wood doors themselves, 3 times heavier than a lot of steel doors, and they were pretty tough to carry into a job. I mean, I went several times, even with him, after Mom passed away. We had some challenges, and so I went with him several times, and honest to goodness, some of those driveways was like this right here, and you would, oh, good gravy, maybe 2/10 of a mile off the road, you would have to carry your door and all your tools and drop cords and so forth into the job. But it was good for us.
So in 2012, I had a vision of opening another office location. We've been getting a lot of work from up in the mountain areas in Wilkes County, and a door opened up for us to buy out another company, and we was able to move to Wilkes County and open our second office in 2012, and thankful for how that office has flourished and done well, and been able to be successful and serve the community there and the mountain communities up there. And in 2014, we opened a third location in Winston-Salem, a showroom location there, and it's done very well. Got a beautiful showroom. In 2018, we opened up a separate location there and moved our Winston location to a new facility, and it's really been a beautiful, it's got a beautiful showroom, been really successful and been great for our customers, and really excited about, you know, that office there, of the future it holds, and I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what that office can reach out and do, and so very thankful for those offices.
When Kaylin come along, my first grandchild, I actually kept her in a baby bed biggest part of the time in my office, which was right here. My desk was on one side of the room, the baby bed was on the other. And we'd stop and play, we'd stop and eat when we needed to, and I was really glad when I could, by the time my third one come along, my other son had a boy, and time he come along, I couldn't handle 3 out here. So I actually moved my office of paying the bills and so forth to the house so that the kids could roam around and play, but nap time or whenever they was really consumed in whatever they was playing with, I could still keep my paperwork done. And then I finally retired and I got to play more. So, but they are the joy of my life, that's for sure.
Our other one works at Lowe's Food at Louisville, and he's going to go to Surrey Community College this fall if they have college. And so Kaylin will go back to Guilford, and Carson's going to Surrey Community, and Alan's going to miss him this summer if he goes back to college. And I'm going to miss him. I may go back with him to college.
And I think Kaylin's going to major in CPA, so every business needs a CPA.
Get back to community, it's always trying to get back to community and advertising and support. And we continue to do that now with advertising in schools and support, classrooms and things like that as a company, and our local schools here, and support the programs, and they'll when they come around, we usually try to always do that and support the community, and not only here in Yadkin but also Wilkes County, with the support office up there.
Didn't turn anything down in the beginning. I mean, from garage store work, we were putting metal windows. He may take on a painting job, a simple repair job for entry doors, for an example, but he didn't turn down anything. But after we got over here and things seemed like settling down a little bit, and he, of course, strive more and more just to do the garage door work. That was his dream. And
also my son Carson and Kaylin. They both graduated high school now. Carson's going to Surrey, taking electronics and welding classes, and Kaylin is going to Guilford, taking CPA classes and accounting classes and those things. And so not sure exactly the direction she's going to go in right now at this time, but Carson has told us, he's got a vision of working here and hopefully one day run the company, and I can look back and see what I went through with my parents, and I'll be able to step aside one day. But so I'm thankful for them and the work ethic they have, and being the young people they are, and so looking forward to years down the road that what God's going to open up and do in their life, and the opportunities they're going to have through this company.
We had, 5 installers plus you, 2 more in the office, and myself. But now when Alan took it over, it went pew. Alan is...
Tell me about Alan.
A great young man. We're very blessed.
I worked awful hard to raise him like I did. Very proud of him. One of the greatest difference, along with, I think he's a whole lot smarter than his mama, that's for sure, but the computer made a big difference.
He stayed up to date. He stayed with the new stuff coming out more so, and he's up to date, and electronically and with the door business.
Yeah, so true. And
he treats people like he should be treated.
yeah.
And he's got some good help.
Yes, he does.
He's got some good employees, and he's got a good family, and they stand behind him.
We as a company, I'm gonna tell you one thing that's made us successful is not because of what I've done and what my parents has done, but I give credit to the Lord, but secondly, the employees we have. Our employees are second to none. Not only from our office staff, the ladies in the office that take care of the phones from day to day. It's such a tough job, and some days is very hectic, trying to schedule things and look after customers, make sure they get worked in when they need to get worked in, and it's a tough job. And I'm so thankful for the ladies and the guys in the office that take care of things there. But our sales team that has done a wonderful job the last several years to help us grow. But we got the best installers in the industry. I got some of the best installers, not only in the residential market, but in the commercial market. We've done projects, several $100,000 projects to just a few $100 projects. And I always had a vision that if you don't look after the small jobs, you're not going to win those big jobs. And I think it is important. But my employees that I've got, they're faithful to us. They do a great job. And sort of like, I guess, my grandpa, he expected a lot out of them. But my guys expect a lot out of them. But I don't try to stand over them, and I'm thankful I don't have to push them on their own. They want to please us, and they want to do a good job for us. And I think it goes a long ways of the reason we're successful. And so I feel like we're a great team. We got such a great team that we put together, from installers to salespeople, people in the office staff, and folks that run the Wilkesboro and the Winston-Salem location just really worked well as a team. And I think in any business, no matter what it is, you got to work together as a team. As the old saying is, not an I in team. I think it goes a long ways and is important.
But when the boys come along, 2 sons, both of them born on his birthday.
Yeah, that's me. Planned it like that. Computers helped out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. 2 years apart, both of them on my birthday.
Yeah, sure enough. But no, when the boys come along, Dad's dream was to keep this place going. And of course, when he died in '88, Mom ran it. And then, unfortunately, 2 years later she got cancer, and a year later she passed away. And that's when Lloyd and I stepped in and took over until Alan came in.
The day that we finally got everything moved up to the new office and we were getting ready to more or less move everything up there, that day, it hadn't been any emotion at all, and as far as me thinking about it, I knew the day was coming, but the morning that happened, it was an emotional morning. Just to know that that was the last time, you know, the main office. We still use this office to some degree, but it was an emotional morning, to say the least. The day we finally moved there. It was sad, but excited too.
Hope that they continue it all, that's for sure. Absolutely. The best garage door people that there are. And to do every job like they're doing it for themselves and for the Lord.